Hello friends, welcome back to Notebook. In this chapter on natural vegetation and wildlife, we will take a brief tour of India's rich heritage in an amazing variety of flora and fauna. It will show us, yet again, the wonderful resources that our country is blessed with. But before anything else, let us understand what natural vegetation means and how it differs from vegetation. Natural vegetation indicates a community of plants that has grown naturally, without any human aid and undisturbed by humans for a prolonged period of time. It is also referred to as virgin vegetation. Crops and trees that are grown with the help of human aid are a part of vegetation, but not natural vegetation. While we are at it, let us understand a few other terms that we shall come across time and again. Let us start with endemic and exotic. Virgin vegetation that is specific to a particular country is known as endemic or indigenous. Virgin vegetation that has formed after coming from outside is known as exotic. We now move on to the terms flora and fauna. Flora refers to the plants of a particular region or geographical period. Similarly, fauna refers to the animals of a particular region or geographical period. What is biodiversity? What has it got to do with India? Biodiversity refers to the variety of life available in a place in terms of genetics, species, and ecosystem. And here's why it is relevant to India. India is one of the 12 mega biodiverse countries or mega diverse countries in the world. The other mega diverse countries are Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, Democratic Republic of Congo, Madagascar, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Australia. According to many environmentalists, the number of such mega-diverse countries is 18. The list includes the 12 we have just mentioned, along with Iran, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, South Africa, USA, and Venezuela. But why is India a mega biodiverse country? Here's why. India has about 47,000 species of plants, which ranks India 10th in the world and 4th in Asia. It has about 15,000 types of flowering plants, which is roughly 6% of what the world has. In September 2016, the Botanical Survey of India listed 18,259 species of flowering plants in India, of which 4,303, meaning nearly 24%, were endemic. Of these endemic plants, the Western Ghats topped the list with about 2,116 species, followed by the Eastern Himalayas with 466 species. And it does not end here. India has a wide range of non-flowering plants like ferns, algae, and fungi. It has about 90,000 species of animals, about 2,000 species of birds, 2,546 varieties of fish, which accounts for 12% of the world's total, and about 5% to 8% of the world's amphibians, reptiles, and mammals. And last but not the least, India is the only country to have both lions and tigers. Wow, that's quite a list. But why is India such a biodiverse country? India's biodiversity is a result of its diverse relief and equally diverse climate. Let us consider relief first. The wide variety of India's topography leads to a wide variety of natural vegetation and wildlife. For example, the hilly and rough terrains are where grasslands and forests grow. They are home to a wide variety of wildlife. The fertile plains are utilized for agriculture. The nature of soil is also a decisive factor in the growth of natural vegetation. Hilly slopes with some depth of soil are where we find conical trees. The sandy soils of deserts are ideal for the growth of cactus and thorny bushes. The wet, marshy, and deltaic soils support dense mangrove forests. The wildlife we find in a region is closely dependent on the natural vegetation there. Which climatic elements decide the natural vegetation of a place? The first is temperature. For example, while the warm marshy lands are ideal for mangrove forests, the temperatures of the Himalayan slopes and the peninsular hills above the height of 915 meters cause the tropical vegetation to change to subtropical temperate and alpine vegetation. Equally important is the photoperiod in a region. In other words, it means the duration of sunlight in that region, and it depends on the latitude, altitude, season and duration of day. The third important factor is the precipitation, that is rain and snow. We shall join you again in the next video. Till then, do go through the notes and question bank compiled specially for you.